So that is the drawback of comparison test. Got the point? So whenever you get a function, you have to see first what is the form of that function. So if you can, the easiest method is follow the sequence in which the theories are being taught. First, I have taught comparison test. So first look at the series and just try to visualize whether you will be able to get a new series which is in the form of P series. If you can get that, then directly go for comparison test. If you are not able to get, then apply ratio test, de-Alembert ratio test. Because comparison test is easy. If you apply ratio test, it may work for some problem, but that is actually a time consuming. De-Alembert ratio test. Now you see this form of the series. Like if you have the series U1, U2, UN, after this UN plus 1 and so on. So looking at this, you can easily judge when it will converge. From your end, you just give an idea when it will converge. If you take the value of, some large n value, if you take the value of UN and if you take the value of UN plus 1, can you guess when the series will converge looking at the value of nth term and n plus 1 term?
Ma'am, if limit n tends to infinity, UN plus 1 by UN is less than 1.
Yes, right. If you have UN plus 1 minus UN is less than 1. Who said this? So if this is less than 1, then it will converge. If it is less than 0, okay. If it is less than 0, it will be convergent. Now from this value, you can get the formula of ratio test. Now you see over here. If you just simplify, and just tell me what you are getting. So when you simplify this, you will get UN plus 1 will be less than UN. So UN plus 1 by UN will be less than 1. Got the point? So it will converge when this property will hold. So you can get it from your own self only, like just now the one who had answered. So from your answer only, I am getting the value of the theorem. So when it will converge, so you have to remember this. So this is valid only when this is a positive term series. Now you write the theory.
Excuse me, ma'am, I have a doubt. Ma'am, do we have to also remember the proof of these tests?
No. I told at the very beginning, proof is there in the honors level syllabus, not for engineers.
Okay, ma'am.
So you don't need to mug this formula. If you can follow this theoretical concept, then directly you can remember this formula when it will converge. So this same theory is written here. What we are getting from the simplification. So it will converge when L is less than 1 and this is divergent when it is greater than 1. Now see what if you take the reverse. Some book have this form. UN plus 1 is above. The larger term series is above than the previous term series. In some book you will get the reverse. So if you write the reverse from this expression, now you get the formula form. Just you take the reverse of this and you yourself generate the formula. And tell me what you will get.
UN by UN.
Yes. You tell again.
UN by UN plus 1 should be greater than 1 for convergence.
Right. Yes, correct. So you should have UN plus 1 should be greater than UN. So this is another form. So in some book you will get this form and some book you will get this form. So don't get confused. So this will be convergent when UN is by UN plus 1 is greater than 1. So instead of 1, in book it is written in general form which is given as L. Now this concept is being applied over here. So it will be convergent, just the reverse of this, because this we have reversed. This expression we have reversed. So the theory will also be the reverse of this. So this will converge if L is greater than 1, diverge if L is less than 1. And test will fail if L is equal to 1. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So how you are getting this formula? I hope it is clear. So no need to memorize the formula. You can just follow this theory and then you can visualize what will be the expression. Now let us come to the example. So this theory, this D-RMS ratio test you can apply whenever you get any expression which is in the form of factorial, like factorial x, because whenever any factorial term is there, you cannot get you cannot break this expression and generate any series which is in the form of 1 by n to the n, okay, because it is a factorial term. Or you can have any exponential form or any other form in which you cannot generate 1 by n, then you directly apply ratio test. Now let us take one example.
I'm sorry, actually, due to some network, I didn't get to know what is the situation when L is equals to 1.
Yeah, it is written when L is equal to 1, the test will fail. So test will fail actually means you cannot apply the ratio test. You have to go for another test. So further I will teach. This test will fail actually means this test will not be applicable. The RMS ratio test will not be applicable. So when this situation occurs, so then we have to switch to another test. Another test I will explain later. What test you have to switch. It is thus the extension of ratio test. That is called the Rabi's test. In that part also you will have the expression similar to this expression with some term added to it. Now you come to this. Test the convergence of this. So what will be your main task first?
Find
main
UN.
Task, yes, find UN. Your main task is to find UN, then find UN plus 1 and then apply the formula.
Ma'am, it is divergent.
Yes. So what value you are getting?
Yeah, ma'am, can you repeat?
What value you are getting? Please mute your mic. Mute your microphone.
n1 s1 factorial by n square.
Somebody's microphone is on, and there is a noise over here. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, when you divide un plus 1 by un, you get n plus 2 upon 3.
Okay, then?
Then, ma'am, you apply limit n tends to infinity. So, the limit was tending to infinity. So, it is a divergent series.
Yes, right. Now, let us come to this series.
Can you just tell the UN of the above series?
UN of this series, UN, you can just guess. First term is this. Second term is this. First term is factorial 2. Second term is factorial 3. Third term is factorial 4. So fourth term is 5. That means any term will be 1 more than the term. Because see, first term means 1 plus 1. When this is taken as 1. Now this is what? Second 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. So when n is increasing, that means when first one is 1, second one is 2, third one is 3. So n1 will be n plus 1.
N plus 1 factorial by 3 per power n.
Yes. From this expression only you have to generate nth term. And over here there is no issue. Over here see 3 is common. So power is changing. So directly there will be the base will be 3 and the power will be n term is n. Because the first term is 1, second term is 2, third term is 3, n term will be n. Now this part. And so on. So what will be the nth term? Carefully look at the pattern of the elements in the terms.
N plus
First,
1 factorial over 3 to the power n.
Yeah, in factorial form you can write like that. No, why n plus 1 factorial? No, because first term is 1, second is 1 into 2, then it is 1 into 2 into 3. So n will be 1 into 2 into 3 into dot dot to n, not n plus 1. So instead of writing in factorial, you can write it in this form only. Because see, the term is being multiplied. In first term, there is only 1. When you go to the second term of the series, one term is being multiplied. That is 1 into 2. And again, the previous is there. So you don't have to leave the previous term. Whenever you proceed to the other next term, so you have to carry forward the previous term also. Or here also see, previous term is there. And then term is added, over here previous term is there, then term is added. So when you generate the nth term, so previous term will be there. That means n minus 1 terms will be there. So you will have 1, 2, 3 to n minus 1 terms.
Convergent,
and
please.
the n terms.
Convergent.
I'm converging.
Yes, it is converging. And denominator 1, what will be the element?
3 into 5 into 7 into dot 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 2n plus 1.
Yes, right. So this will be whole square. So un you are having this part. So you can get un plus 1. That means there will be one term added to the unth term. That means it will be n plus 1 added to the numerator, keeping the previous term, and again n plus 1 will be added. So it will be 2n plus 3 will be added to this term. Now you can just divide and find the solution. Who got the answer now? Just post your solution so that I can see.
एक्सक्यूज मैम
Yes.
मैम फर्स्ट वाले का जो एक्सप्लेनेशन एक फ्रेंड ने दिया था वो मैम गलत एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया था उसने.
क्या चीज? फर्स्ट वाला कौन सा फर्स्ट वाला है? जो
मैम जिसका डाइवर्जेंट आंसर है मैम, वो आंसर तो सही था लेकिन एक्सप्लेनेशन उसने गलत दिया था.
अच्छा, अपना वाला पोस्ट करना था, हम देखें.
मैम पोस्ट करने में टाइम लग जाएगा मैम. उसने बोला था कि 3, उसने n+2/3 बोला था, जबकि 3
हाँ, नहीं वही आंसर
n+2 आएगा.
नहीं वही, वो सही बताया था
मैम. तो फिर मैम इन्फिनिटी जाएगा तो वो 1 से ग्रेटर हो गया ना इन्फिनिटी, फिर तो कन्वर्जेंट हो जाएगा. डाइवर्जेंट कैसे होगा?
अच्छा ठीक है, अपना वाला पोस्ट करना, फिर हम देख लेंगे.
एल का वैल्यू मैम शायद वो उल्टा ले रहा है.
हाँ, वो उल्टा रिवर्स ले रहा होगा. दो तरीके से है, ताकि हम बताए ना थ्योरी में, दो फॉर्म में हम ले सकते हैं. un plus 1 को ऊपर ले सकते हैं या un को ऊपर ले सकते हैं. एक ही होगा, लेकिन क्या होगा वहां पे थ्योरी का जो कन्वर्जेंस डाइवर्जेंस का कॉन्सेप्ट है वो रिवर्स हो जाएगा.
अच्छा
ठीक है, तो दोनों ही करेक्ट है. अगर याद नहीं रहेगा कब रिवर्स होगा कब डाइवर्ज होगा, तो हम वो बताएं शॉर्टकट देके, कहां से कैसे करके चेक करना है. Yes, it is right. तो समझ में आ रहा है ये एक्सप्रेशन को देख के कि हम लोग कंपैरिजन टेस्ट क्यों नहीं लगा रहे हैं यहाँ पे?
यस मैम.
समझ में आ रहा है ना? और एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं.
Ma'am, the last step is 1/4 less than 1, right? Of the previous question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now take another example. हाँ, अब इसका करो. यहाँ पे भी देखने से समझ में आ जा रहा है. You cannot get any series separately by which you can compare, क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक x है. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए डायरेक्टली यू गो फॉर रेशियो टेस्ट. अगर सिर्फ ये वाला पोर्शन होता है, ये वाला नहीं रहता, तब कंपैरिजन टेस्ट लग जाता है, क्योंकि ये एडेड है इसमें, इसलिए कंपैरिजन टेस्ट नहीं लगेगा.
मैम मल्टीप्लाई में x का पावर n है क्या?
हाँ.
Ma'am, the value which we are getting is x.
Yes. So you are taking un plus 1 by un for comparison, no? Limit. So you will get x, right? Now what you have to do? This is a variable. How can a variable be used to?
Then it will be two cases, right?
Yes, it will be two cases. So you directly apply the theory over here because this is a variable. So
Yes,
the convergence and divergence will depend upon the range of this variable. So directly you go to the theory. So if you take the real axis, real line, so if you take this as x, so for all those values which are greater than x, then you can come to some conclusion. And when it is less than x, so then in that case you can come to some conclusion. So if it is greater than x, it will converge. For those values which are less than x, it will diverge. And what is happening to the value at x? Test will fail. Now let us have a move to Rabbit's test. This is also called higher ratio test. So Rabbit's test is just the extension of ratio test. In ratio test, we have this portion. Okay, let me write the Rabbit's test, then it will be easy for you to understand. Make a note, all series should be a positive term series, okay? So this portion you can see, this portion is similar to ratio test. So the concept of ratio test will be applicable over here because the inner portion is same. Okay, so same concept will be there. So when it will converge when it is less than 1, diverge when it is greater than 1, and test will fail when it is equal to 1. And if you take the reverse, then this part will also get reversed.
Ma'am, in the equation it is written -1.
Yeah, this is -1. Actually, this I have made a bracket. This part is ratio. This there is -1 over here.
Ma'am, and you have written limit n tends to infinity n into.
Yes, n into limit n tending to infinity, n into bracket un plus 1 by un minus 1, bracket closed.
Ma'am, test will fail when L is equal to 0.
No, L is equal to 1 over here.
Ma'am, because un plus 1 divided by un is equal to 1, then test fails in the ratio test, then minus.
No, in that case, see, if you take the things directly from here, then in that case, you are getting the value 0. That is different. But I'm taking that this part is a ratio part. So this is just the expansion. Like why they are taking away a -1? Because when in the ratio part, when it is failing, they are adding and subtracting some term from that Allenby's ratio test term itself, and then they are multiplying some factor and they are pairing. So actually this is a theoretical portion why it is being considered over here. But you can imagine the thing in this way, like in ratio test when we were taking, when it was increasing. So what was happening? We know from the theory that when it will increase, the value will be the next term's value. When it will converge, the next term value should be smaller than the previous term value. So you have the concept un plus 1 should be less than un, isn't it? So that is why you were getting this. We were coming to this formula, and based on this formula, this was considered as 1. So if one student, what he was saying that if you subtract -1 over here, then it is becoming 0. So over here, actually, this direct substitution is not being considered over here. This you can take it as it is the extension of ratio test. That is why this is being separately taken, not by simplifying this term.
Ma'am, can you read the limit term once? I can't understand what
limit over here will be n tends to infinity. For every series test, you will have n tends to infinity. Why?
No, ma'am. After that, what the exact term is? I can't understand.
limit n tending to infinity n into bracket un plus 1 by un minus 1 equal to L.
Okay. Thank you.
And ma'am, what's there in the bracket of the test name?
Higher ratio test.
Ma'am, here the whole term is L or only un plus 1 by un ratio is L?
माइक्रोफोन किसी का ऑफ करो, बहुत ज्यादा पीछे से ड्रम बीट जैसा हो रहा है.
When we have to use rabies term and when you have to use ratio test?
शुरू में हमने बताया ना, I have just explained at the beginning. Note this part. When test fails. अगर रेशियो टेस्ट में ही टेस्ट फेल नहीं करेगा तो रैबिस टेस्ट लगा के मेहनत करके कोई फायदा नहीं है, क्योंकि मेहनत करने से इसका एक्सप्रेशन बढ़ जा रहा है. ये हमारा सिंपल एक्सप्रेशन है. दिस इज अ सिंपल एक्सप्रेशन व्हिच इज यूज्ड इन रेशियो टेस्ट, isn't it? So if you have multiply some n term and then do the subtraction of the series term, the expression will become complicated. There may be situation that it is also being applicable in ratio test and it is also being applicable in rabies test. But it is better that you follow the sequence instead of wasting time and doing the big calculation. Okay? तो अगर रेशियो टेस्ट फेल होता है तब रैबिस टेस्ट में आना.
Ma'am, in rabies the whole term is equals to L or only the ratio is equals to L?
The whole term is there. ये तो whole term है ना, ऐसा है तो ये देखो यहाँ पे इसको फॉलो करो, इसको फॉलो करो. क्यों मेरा राइटिंग अच्छा नहीं है क्या?
नहीं मैम, बहुत अच्छा.
मैम बहुत नहीं मैम, अच्छा नहीं, समझ नहीं आता.
हाँ वो तो है, थोड़ा चाइल्डिश है, लेकिन
मैम बहुत अच्छा राइटिंग है,
थोड़ा क्लियर.
मैम मैथ्स के हिसाब से इट्स वेरी गुड. नो मैम, दे आर कैपिंग, इट्स वेरी बैड.
ठीक है. हाँ नहीं, राइटिंग उतना अच्छा नहीं है, डजंट मैटर, बट राइटिंग खूबसूरत बना के कंटेंट सही नहीं है तो उससे भी कोई फायदा नहीं है, तो समझने का मतलब है. ठीक है, लेकिन it is readable. It is not very beautiful, but it is readable. अब क्लियर है, अच्छे से लिख दिया है.
Yes.
Okay, now come to this example. Test convergence of this series. So what you have to do first? First I have taught comparison test. Sequence follow करना. अगर सीरीज का प्रॉब्लम को क्विकली सॉल्व करना हो तो पहले कंपैरिजन टेस्ट बताएं. देखने से पता चल रहा है यू कैन नॉट गेट अ पी सीरीज बिकॉज नीचे में फैक्टोरियल है. ठीक है. सेकंड चले जाना रैबिस टेस्ट में. रैबिस टेस्ट लगाओ. अगर रैबिस टेस्ट फेल करता है तो दैट इज नॉट एन इश्यू बिकॉज द सेम थिंग इज बीइंग अप्लाइड ओवर हियर, un by un plus 1 जो रैबिस टेस्ट में है, तो टाइम वेस्ट नहीं होगा. तो रैबिस टेस्ट लगा लो. अगर टेस्ट फेल करता है तो फिर उसमें सिंप्लीफाई करके ये रेशियो टेस्ट लगा लो. If ratio test fail, then you come to rabies test. So first you start the ratio test. The nth term is given directly, so this is the nth term.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, you previously wrote un plus 1 divided by un in the rabies test.
That is, I told both the thing, no? I told un plus 1 also, I told un also. But when
and then the condition will going to change.
हाँ वो तो हम बताए हैं, that will be changing, L value will be changing, just the sign will be reversed. Like if it is okay, you yourself tell me with this expression. Okay, this for conversion, this is for converging. Yes, so you are having this will converge when it is less than 1. This 1 is assumed as L in the theory, because whenever we take a theory, we don't take a fixed value, we just take a generalized value with some variable. So this is L, so this is converging. So when it will diverge, you just do ulta, reverse. So what will be the sign?
Less than 1.
No, when you do reverse, what will be the sign?
For conversion, it will be greater than 1.
Yes. तो बस यही चीज है यहाँ पे, ये वाला रिवर्स हो गया है, तो अब यहाँ पे समझ लो, अब इसको L पकड़ लो, when we follow the theory, so it will converge when L is greater than 1.
Okay,
तो उसमें घबराने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है, उसका घबराने का, अगर भूल भी जाओगे, ये this happen, हम लोग के साथ भी होता था कि हम लोग कंफ्यूज रहते, तो सबसे बेस्ट तरीका है यहाँ से, अगर समझ में नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ पे फॉलो कर लो.
Ma'am, for x greater than 1 diverging, x less than 1 converging.
For this part?
Yes,
no, no.
Converging 1/3 आ रहा है.
Yes. अगर हम इसको लेते हैं इस फॉर्म में un by un plus 1, तो इसका वैल्यू आता है 1/3x.
1/3x.
ठीक है, अब डायरेक्ट थ्योरी में मूव टू डायरेक्ट थ्योरी. सो दिस विल कन्वर्ज व्हेन, अब यहाँ पे मैच करो.
मैम x will be in the numerator.
When it is greater than 1, तो यहाँ से जब greater than 1 है तो x का रेंज निकल जाएगा यहाँ से, तो x का रेंज निकाल लो, कौन से रेंज पे, यहाँ पे रियल लाइन में अगर हम लोग प्लॉट करते हैं तो वहां से फिर रेंज निकल जाओ, अगर 3 को हम फिक्स करते हैं तो ठीक है. और फिर हाँ, तो ये हो गया कन्वर्जेंट का. अब डाइवर्जेंट का क्या है, इसका उल्टा है, तो डाइवर्जेंट हो जाएगा when it is less than 1. So 1/3x will be less than 1, and test will fail when 1/3x is equal to 1. तो यानी यहाँ पे 1 को फिक्स करो, ये अच्छा नहीं, यहाँ से x कितना निकल रहा है, for what value of x you are getting converging, for those value of x which is greater than for those values of x which are less than 1/3 it will converge, यानी 1/3 को फिक्स कर दो रियल लाइन में, तो 1/3 के नीचे जो हमारा जो भी x का वैल्यू आएगा then that will converge, और 1/3 के रियल लाइन में जो भी वैल्यू उसके ऊपर आएगा वो उसमें डाइवर्ज करेगा. अब व्हाट विल हैपन टू द वैल्यू एट 1/3? तो टू स्टडी दैट यू यूज रैबिस टेस्ट. तो अब क्या करना है, यहाँ पे x का जो वैल्यू, वी गॉट द वैल्यू x इक्वल टू 1/3 फ्रॉम दिस एक्सप्रेशन. सो टेस्ट रेशियो यहाँ पे लिखना है, रेशियो टेस्ट फेल्स बिकॉज वी आर फॉलोइंग रेशियो टेस्ट फर्स्ट. रेशियो टेस्ट फेल्स when 1/3x is equal to 1. That means x is equal to 1/3. अब क्या करना है, now we have to test exactly at what is happening at 1/3. अब वो हमको टेस्ट करना है, तो exactly what is happening at 1/3 you can just use the Rabi's test. Now what you do, you put the value of 1/3 over here in this expression. Okay, you put the value of 1/3 over here and then proceed further. Try करो, नहीं बनेगा तो फिर बताते हैं.
It is coming divergent
at x equal to 1/3. बाकी का?
Yes ma'am.
Yes, it is divergent at x equal to 1/3. Very good. पोस्ट करो तो देखिए एक बार.
Ma'am, I have not been added in this team. That's why I can post it.
So you have not been added. How it is so that you are not added?
Ma'am, I have been slided tomorrow only. That's
okay. You tell me that. So you have got the shared link from your friend.
Yes ma'am.
Okay, I will add now, because you will face problem later. You just in the chat box you put your roll number.
Ma'am, I cannot
okay, you tell. Okay, you tell me. Okay, you tell me. Wait 1 minute. BTech
10208.
10208.
Yes.
Dot.
I'm 21.
This is your name?
Yes,
Ankush Raj. Okay. Okay, अब इस प्रॉब्लम का पोस्ट करना तो the one who have done. क्या कोई पोस्ट नहीं कर रहा है? Anybody post? Let me see. शुरू से पोस्ट करो so that I can understand that you are doing it mathematically. Because sometimes students do it verbally. डायरेक्ट रैबिस टेस्ट मत लगाना, ओके?
नो मैम, सेकंड फोटो पहले भेजा गया। I've sent 2 photos.
ओके। ठीक है। सीधा करके कभी पोस्ट किया करो। It is difficult to see this tilted one.
Yes, ma'am.
If it is a descriptive problem, then you have to write what test you are using, okay? You have to write that by ratio test. Directly, if you use this concept, you will not get marks.
Okay.
And limit also, you don't forget to mention the limit. Limit is very important because how you are getting the value, how you are converging to the value when n is tending to infinity.
I have written limits everywhere.
Okay. Okay, take another problem.
X
Yes.
is given positive.
Yeah, the series is always positive. Okay, yeah, over here the x is not defined. X is a positive as well as negative value. That is why you are getting the value of x is less than 1 by 3 and greater than 1 by 3. Otherwise, you would have got only in one axis.
Ma'am, but 1 by 3x greater than 1 or less than 1, if x would have been negative, then we can't directly cross multiply according to the rules of inequality. Otherwise, the signs will change if it is negative.
No, see, I've told you, see, if it is negative, or if it is a negative term, then what you can do? You can break the negative term to a positive term.
Yes, ma'am.
By taking a minus. So that is not an issue. This also I explained in the previous class, like you are considering UN as a positive sum series. But if you take minus U1, minus U2, minus U3, then can you apply? You can make them, because if negative term is added to all the series, you can make it positive by taking one minus common, U1 plus U2 plus, so this becomes positive, not an issue. Like minus 3. Minus 3 is a negative term. So when you apply some theoretical concept, you can just take a minus separately and then you can apply anything over here. So same thing over here.
Okay.
If it is one time positive, one time negative, then that is an issue, because you cannot take any common term and you can make all the series positive. That will remain throughout the series. Okay, one term positive, one time negative. So that becomes an alternating one. But in this case, it is not an issue.
What's the answer?
Answer your friend had said just now.
Divergent.
It is already posted. The solution is also posted here.
Yeah, but what happens at 1 by 3?
That is also posted here. That is why we are applying Rabi's test.
Who has posted?
क्या चले गए थे, ऑफलाइन हो गए थे क्या?
नहीं मैम, समझ नहीं आया।
अभी तो बताया।
टेस्ट फेल्स।
हाँ, टेस्ट फेल होगा। जब टेस्ट फेल होगा तो we will apply Rabi's test. अच्छा, now let us come to another example. test the convergence of this series. So this is UN. UN is given to you. Same concept. Start from ratio test and then you move to rabbit test. Again, I am repeating, looking at the expression, you can easily understand that you will not get any series of the form 1 by n to the power p. So no comparison test will be able to use. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, the denominator, the last term should be 2n plus 2.
अगर 1 है तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
Ma'am, 2, 4, 6. It is all odd, even numbers, so 2n plus 1 will be odd.
नहीं, अगर कोई टर्म एक्स्ट्रा ऐड हो जाता है तो क्या सोल्यूशन पॉसिबल नहीं होगा? क्योंकि ये nth टर्म में बताया है ना ये केस, तो ये सोल्यूशन पॉसिबल नहीं होगा.
Oh yes, ma'am.
हाँ, अगर पैटर्न रहता है इसके आगे कुछ तब फिर वहां पे जनरेट करना मुश्किल होता है.
Okay, ma'am.
Next class I will start another new test.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you please show the screen where you wrote the rabies test?
क्यों कॉपी में नोट नहीं कर रहे हो तुम लोग?
I'm note किए. I have written converging if x if L less than 1 and diverging if L greater than 1.
तो कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है तो फिर रेक्टिफाई करो थ्योरी फॉलो करके जो हम समझाए हैं.
It's okay.
तो खुद ही आंसर मिल जाएगा कब कन्वर्ज करेगा नहीं करेगा. फॉलो हम तो समझा रहे थे, समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am. वो
अगर फॉर्मूला याद नहीं रहेगा तो कैसे उसको समझना है? So whatever I am teaching, you write down in your copy.
No, I've written everything.
Ma'am, UN plus
Okay,
1 divided by UN.
Ma'am, for
X square upon 2.
Ma'am, for x belonging to negative infinity to minus 1, union 1 to infinity, it is diverging. For
फिर से बताओ, again you repeat.
Ma'am, for x belonging to minus infinity to minus 1, union 1 to infinity, it is diverging.
अच्छा, first you tell me the simple expression that you are getting after taking the limit of ratio test.
Ma'am, 2n plus 1 into x square upon 2n plus 3.
नहीं, लिमिट लेने के बाद वो नहीं आ रहा है.
Ma'am, x square upon 2.
1 by x square नहीं आ रहा after taking the limit.
Yes, ma'am, वही आ रहा है. मैम मैं आपको बता रहा था un
two upon
plus
x square is
1
coming,
un की वैल्यू.
Okay, fine. तो सेम आ रहा है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. लिमिट n tending to infinity.
Yes,
un by un plus 1 you get 1 by x square.
Yes, ma'am, यही.
अब यहीं से x का पॉसिबल, अब यहीं से पता चल जाएगा कब कन्वर्ज करेगा. What value of x it will converge, for what value of x it will diverge.
मैम और इस पे फिर प्लस माइनस 1 पर देखना पड़ेगा ना.
हाँ, बस डायरेक्ट ऐसे ही लिखने से भी हो जाएगा क्योंकि ये कन्वर्ज कब करेगा when this is greater than 1. So
yes,
that means when x square is less than 1 it will converge. So
yes,
when
minus 1 7.
So when x square is greater than 1 it will diverge. When x square is equal to 1 the test will fail. Okay, so when test is failing you cannot leave this portion. Now you go for
next test. Yes, ma'am.
It converges for x squared equal to 1.
Yes, it is converging.
Yes, for converging minus 1 के लिए.
Yeah, it is correct. It will converge when x square is
Which the test will fail x equals to plus minus 1.
Post karo solution, let me see.
When the series would fail at x equals to plus minus 1 test.
Yeah, if you take plus minus 1, then obviously it will be, then you have to follow the two different cases to test the convergence. Once you have to take x equal to 1, again you have to take x equal to minus 1. So directly you take the square value and test. इतना मेहनत करने की क्या जरूरत है दो बार ब्रेक करके, क्योंकि ये तो इसी का पार्ट है ना, तो स्क्वायर को लेके चलो, तो तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम फिर the simple problem will be divided into two parts and wastage of time. It will work, it is not that it will not work.
Yes, ma'am, I understood. Ma'am, diverging for x equals to 1 and minus 1.
All are getting the same value?
No, be convergent.
It is converging. Check कर लो अपना. It is
Yes,
converging.
yes, ma'am. Plus minus 1 पर.
हाँ.
L is equal to minus 1.
मैम मैंने भेज दिया हुआ है.
अच्छा भेज दिया. See, one thing again I am making a note over here. Whenever you are having any square term or anything, just don't break it like square root को हटाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, if you break the square root, then the problem gets divided into two parts. Okay, so that will be a wastage of time in testing at both the solution, both the points. So directly you consider that same point and then you solve the problem. So that in one simple problem you can solve. Got the point? जैसे अगर तुम्हारा यहाँ पे x square is equal to 1/3 आता है, then x is equal to plus minus 1 by square root of 3. So you have to test at x equal to 1 by square root of 3. Again you have to test at x is equal to 1 by square root minus 1 by root 3. तो ये दो बार टेस्ट करना तो वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम है, बेवकूफी है, क्या जरूरत है? तो डायरेक्टली यू यूज दिस बिकॉज दिस इज आल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस टर्म, नो? So directly you can use. Okay, we will meet in the next class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.